Alright, so hey guys, and welcome to the very first episode of Rift Talk Live, the new talk show from EGN. My name is Kieran Griffiths, and of course I'll be your host today. And just looking around the room, I have the pleasure of being joined by some wonderful people. Of course, first of all, we have my co-hosts, Amy and Lamill, and our special guest for this week, TSM's jungler, Brian, TheOddOne Wiley, and Cloud9's jungler, Will Meteos Hartman. Just to give you guys a better idea of who we've got here today, go around the room and have everyone introduce themselves, starting with you, Amy.
Hi guys, my name's Amy. I'm a former interviewer for Team Dignitas and now happy to be working with EGN to promote League of Legends in Oceania.
Okay.
Awesome. And Lamill?
I'm Lamill and I'm the founder of EGN and I hired these two noobs at the top with me.
Lovely. OddOne?
I'm TheOddOne. I play jungler for TSM. Been playing for a few years now. That's about it.
Okay, and finally, but not least, Meteos.
Hi, I'm Meteos, and I'm Cloud9's jungler. That's about all there is to me.
Short and sweet.
Alright. So I guess, guys, we'll just sort of dive right into it and get into some discussion. And I think having a member of TSM on the show, you can't go past the biggest news from NA in recent weeks, and that's TSM's acquisition of Bjergsen. So, OddOne, what are your thoughts on, just having Bjergsen in the house?
So yeah, I don't know. It's a different change of pace not having Reggie playing with us. We played with him for I don't know. I think 3 years almost. I don't know. So it's a little different having Bjergsen as the mid laner now. He's just adapting to American way. He goes to McDonald's like everyone else, 7-Eleven. So life is good here. But aside from that, it's just getting a little used to. But he's fitting right in. He's a pretty chill guy. He has his European tendencies, whatever. But it's all pretty good, pretty cool.
Okay, and now as a team that's going to be playing against TSM, what are your thoughts on having Bjergsen in North American LCS Meteos?
I'm actually pretty happy about Bjergsen being on TSM. I played against him in the solo queue a lot, and we've scrimmed against TSM a bit these past few weeks, and he's actually really good. Like, he puts out a lot more pressure than we're used to seeing from mid laners. So I think he'll definitely help TSM get a lot better and help all the other NA teams get a lot better by just playing against a better player. He's a really cool guy, too. I met him at Worlds, and I was happy to hear it when he joined the team.
Awesome. So, of course, having played with Reginald so long, he was often referred to as a very aggressive mid laner. Hi there, Dan Din. Does Bjergsen bring that same sort of aggression to the team, do you think? Or is it a very different playstyle?
It's similar playstyle, actually. Like, he does really well in lane. Like, there's a lot of times he just kills his opponent, outright, even though it's, just a 1v1 without jungle pressure. He plays, he also has really good champ pool. I'm pretty sure Syndra's gonna get nerfed, but I brought Syndra to North America, and he just dumps on a lot of people right now. But he plays really extreme. He plays aggressive. He plays to win lane, obviously, and then when he crushes lane, he just puts pressure on the map. So it's very similar to Reggie. So we expect big things from him, I guess.
Okay, and now in his AMA and on stream, Bjergsen said that his playstyle, he thinks, will take away some of the bans and some of the camping from Dyrus and send it his way. As a jungler as well, Meteos, do you think that enemy teams will be trying to focus down Bjergsen?
I think teams will try to focus on Bjergsen because, as far as I know, I'm not sure any mids can consistently beat him one-on-one. So I think most people will need a lot of help to go up against Bjergsen. So it'll definitely take pressure off Dyrus.
Okay. I just have a question. Does TSM have a shot caller now?
We're mostly in testing stages. Because earlier today we didn't really have much stuff to do in late game. Calls were getting hard to do, so now we're mostly testing between Special and Bjergsen, I guess, for who's doing shot calling. So it's not really set in stone yet. So we'll have to see.
Do you think you need a shot caller? Oh, sorry. Do you think you need a shot caller in a team?
Yeah. If you need someone to just get everyone else in line, the big picture, basically. to lead the troops in the battle. But it's really to take objectives. Like the overall strategy of 5 minds united as one, just go in and take an objective or something, or follow a call is obviously much stronger than just having a bunch of guys in solo queue run around getting caught over and over and just lose. So yeah, shot caller would be extremely important.
Okay. Who's Meteor? Is
You
Meteor
saying, Amy?
shot caller? Sorry.
No, on C9 high is actually like the main shot caller. We sort of split the duties up a little bit. Like I do a lot of the objective calls, like blue, red, dragon, baron stuff. High does a lot of like the late game sort of things, and then elimination does a lot of the early game.
Okay.
So it's sort of divided, but I'd say high is the main one. If he makes a call, we all listen to it, and even if it's a horrible call, we still go with it.
Good. That's
Generally, his calls are good though.
Oh, that's good.
Syncing with your shit. So, Amy, you were saying?
Yeah, I was just like going back to Bjergsen. Like, I mean, obviously playstyle has changed now that he's in the team, but how is like maybe just the overall house atmosphere? Like, how are you guys getting along in terms of your like just interacting with each other at home and all that?
I think he fits in really well. He's pretty funny. He's pretty outgoing. So I think, I don't know, we'll have to see when LCS starts, because I guess we're not stressed at all because we're not scrimming as much as normal. God damn it, Turtle. But yeah, so until LCS starts, we don't know how it'll be, because usually when LCS starts, you scrim much more, like every day for like, who knows, 8 hours maybe, looking over replays and stuff, so the atmosphere is more stressed. Like before Worlds, obviously, it was more tense around the house. It wasn't as, I guess, yeah, it was just stressful, so, because we played every day, we practiced every day, and hoped that we'd do well, so right now it's in vacation period, so it's really just laid back. Everyone's having a good time, everyone's playing the game, and everyone's just having just no stress right now.
Cool.
So I think while we're on the topic of roster changes in NA, 2 other teams that have undergone quite major roster changes are, of course, Curse and Dignitas. Now, for those of you who don't know, Dignitas actually brought in Cruz the Bruiser as their new top laner, brought Kiwi Kid down to support, and benched Patoy. And Curse have completely gone with a new roster for Season 4. Might need you guys to help me out with this, but I believe they've brought in Quas as their top laner. Voyboy's gone to mid. Cop is still their AD carry. Zeken is their new support, and their new jungler is... Someone help me out, please.
I will dominate.
Dominate.
Dominate, that's it. So, what do you guys, as players who've played against these teams, how do you think these roster changes will impact the teams?
I guess I can start with Dignitas. That roster change, I'm a little bit hesitant to say is good because Kiwi Kid doesn't really play support, and I don't know how much competitive experience Cruz the Bruiser has on like a tournament setting, but it might be good. They might be like secretly really good, but we've only scrimmed him a few times, and I guess we'll see when LCS comes around.
Okay. And OddOne, your thoughts on the Dig change?
I think the Dig one's weird. To do it this like late, I think something must have happened or something must have came up, and they were forced to do a really quick change because, it's sort of weird having Kiwi Kid support when he was a top laner previously, which is like almost the opposite role. So we'll have to see how it goes, but it's really sudden change. Like not many people expected it, so we'll have to wait and see until the Battle of the Atlantic goes and see how they do against their opponent. I forgot who it was though.
And you mentioned the Battle at the Atlantic, and we'll come back to that one. But first, I want to get both of your thoughts on the Curse roster change as well, starting with you, Meteos.
Okay, Curse. Yeah, they did a huge roster change. I actually think they're pretty solid right now. Obviously, they still have some practice to do, just like everyone else. But I think that they might be stronger than before because I know that a lot of their players on their older roster were getting pretty old. And I don't know, I guess there's time to get like some fresh faces in there. And so I think Quas is like a really good player from solo queue that deserves to be on an LCS team. So that's a good pickup for them. Cop's a good AD. Dominate's pretty good jungler. So I think they'll be good when season comes around. They've been doing pretty well on the amateur scene, so
Yeah.
I think it's a good change.
And OddOne, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think They did some really good pickups. Yeah, Quas was a really good pickup, actually. I'm pretty sure any other team would have picked him up that needed a top laner at the time, but Curtis got to him first, so that was a really good pickup by them. So jungle-wise, it's mostly similar. It's because, yeah, they had a bunch of departures on the team, so they had to fill the holes, but for a team that had their roster mostly gutted, they're actually doing not too bad. They're actually doing really well in the amateur scene, despite having, I think, 3 of their members, taken out. So they did a really good job recovering from that, and I'm pretty sure they'll be in the LCS.
Okay. Anything you two want to add? Well, Amy?
I kind of just want to ask about how their scrim results have been, both of you guys. Like TSM and Cloud9. Have you guys scrimmed each other?
Yeah, we've played each other a decent amount. I don't know the exact scores. They're pretty even. I don't know. We don't really keep track of scrim scores because we don't always scrim like purely to win. Sometimes we're just trying stuff out and it goes really, really badly. Or sometimes they do it, but I don't know. They're pretty even.
Okay.
Okay. And now, you mentioned before the Battle of the Atlantic, which is coming up. Just get the dates here. That's like, the 14th of December to the 22nd of December. And that's the top 5 LCS teams from Europe and North America. Now, TSM will be taking on Lemon Dogs, and Cloud9 will be taking on Fnatic. What are your predictions for your games and the regions as a whole? Starting with, one of you, Meteos, go.
I have no idea. The big thing with the Battle of the Atlantic is it's going to be on the preseason patch, which no one's actually played on. So it's almost impossible to tell how we're going to do because there's going to be so many different changes with like the trinkets and the map changes. I guess there's like a new jungle camp. It's just a ton of stuff. So, I mean, hopefully all of North America wins, but that seems kind of hopeful. Both regions have had a lot of roster changes. So I don't know. I don't think I can make a good prediction, but hopefully NA wins every game.
That's the attitude to have. And OddOne, you guys are taking on Lemon Dogs, who currently only have 2 members on the team. I think you guys may have a bit of an advantage there, but who do you think's going to win, and what do you think about the region's chances?
Yeah, it's similar to what Meteos said. It's going to be whoever played a lot on the new patch and figured the best way to win. Actually, I have no idea who Lemon Dogs is actually right now. I don't even think they have any member of their old roster, actually. I have no idea who's on the team right now.
Yeah.
The roster's been completely gutted. And I think some people have joined Ninjas in Pajamas, which is really weird, even though Lemon Dogs is actually guaranteed an LCS spot. So they assume it must be something big must have happened. So I have no idea why their entire roster is basically gone. So I have no idea who our opponent is. It could be anyone, for all I know. So I can't really make a prediction yet. I'm assuming we'll win, because if we have experience, they could pull out a really good team. But yeah, it's also on a Season 4 patch. Like, some champions might be more viable than others, and certain playstyles will be better. So it's just going to be who's going to adapt faster. And yeah, we'll win. America wins. America.
America.
Well, that's the attitude to have. And I guess to talk about the preseason patch is, it gives us a nice interlude into talking about the Season 4 changes. And I personally don't know much about these, so I'm going to hand it over to my co-hosts. They seem to know a bit more about it than I do.
Okay, well, I guess just the main preseason changes involving the jungle, especially, I guess one of the major ones is the brush changes. Do you guys have anything to share on that?
I think they're pretty nice. Basically, what they were doing with the brush changes is just like making it so a ward will always cover an entire brush to get rid of the really annoying ones. Like the notorious ones are like the banana brush, especially. Like you can have like 3 separate pink wards in that bush that like all don't see each other. It's just like super troll.
What about top lane?
I think that'll be like less stressful. Oh yeah, the like triple bush thing.
Yeah, that one.
I don't know what that's gonna do. Apparently, it makes it better for like soul laners to go up, or the melee soul laners to go up there. But I don't really know. That seems weird. I don't think it gives like a significant advantage to anyone.
Do you think that it'll make like ganking top lane harder then, because of the brush changes?
Yeah.
A little bit. I don't know. I haven't played on it too much because we still have IEM Cologne in like 2 days, so we've really been focusing on like this patch and the stuff that's good now still. So I'll probably look more into that after we either win or lose at Cologne.
What about
OddOne, your
OddOne?
thoughts on this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have almost like haven't even touched like the changes yet. So I've like the only knowledge I have is like what I see on their website right now. I don't really know that much about it. I just learned about the brush changes now. Good stuff.
Haven't you seen the top lane one yet?
I think
Nah, I don't look at that.
Really?
I hardly even
3
know where
brushes
they're.
instead of 2.
I'll look at it later.
Okay,
I think-
wow.
It gives like a little bit more safety to lane ganks for top laners because like you can't get as far up without being seen.
Mm.
yeah.
But I don't know. It seems kind of insignificant, but I guess I haven't played on it, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Do you think adding an extra camp is going to change a lot just for gold flow for junglers and experience and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, at first look, it does look that way. I guess it opens a lot more like routes for junglers to do because generally the way it works is like, it's easier for blue side to camp bottom lane because they can still farm 2 camps while like rotating bot often. And then if purple wants to do the same thing, they can they have to either go through the blue jungle and take the blue guys camps, or they can only do wolves and then try to go bot. So like they'll get starved. But with this extra camp, it makes it so there's like an even amount of camps on both sides.
Mm.
So like the junglers have more options for what they can do. So I think it'll be cool. It'll open up a lot of stuff. One thing I was kind of wondering is if teams would try like double junglers because there's so many camps, and even if you like just try ricing the entire time, like going from camp to camp, you'll never kill all the camps early game. So I don't know. That might be something people try. I don't really know.
Well, you heard it here first. Double jungle strategies
Might be good.
might work. And I guess, do one of you want to talk about the Lauren and Lamill or Amy talk about the vision changes? Because I know you know a bit more about those than I do.
Yeah, like the one pink one, it's always visible. Is it 5 hits now that you have to hit to kill it?
Yeah, it's 5 hits. Yeah.
5 hits, and then
Yeah.
it's visible.
And I think I'm yelling, but I can't tell because my audio was really quiet in the test. So sorry if I'm yelling. But yeah. So what do you guys think about how it will always be visible, the pink ward, and you can only have one? Do you think that will bring out team fights and stuff, or not worth it?
For wards.
Yeah, for a pink
I actually
ward.
have no idea. Like, the vision change might be the most impactful thing in the new season because it's going to be like people can only put 3 wards, including support. So it's like everyone's going to have to ward. And it's a lot harder to clear out their vision because I guess they're getting rid of pink wards and that you can only, or not pink wards, oracles, and you can only have 1 visible pink ward. So it'll definitely change up a lot of stuff. I don't entirely know what's going to happen with that.
Yeah, what do you think,
And
Odd One?
OddOne, do you think? Well, I was going to ask. Do you think we'll see a resurgence of junglers like Evelyn, who, there's not going to be as many pink wards on the map, so stealth is going to play a big role?
I think they might change Evelyn because of that, yeah, because she'll basically be invisible on the map unless you literally put a green ward right beside her camp. When that's the only time you can ever see her is if she's actually doing a camp. Some people always ask me, is Maokai coming back? I don't think so, unless they change the HP of the camps. A lot of the old junglers are still going to not really be useful because they just farm way too slow and it just costs too much mana and resources to farm. But for Evelyn, they might change that because I could see it
Especially
being a
with that
problem.
new camp. The new camp is has 1,000,000 health and it does 1,000,000 damage too.
Really?
So it's only good for single target junglers. Like Lee Sin and Elise are really good at it because they can just Q smite Q it.
Yeah, stuff like Vi
But,
as
I
well.
don't,
Yeah.
Nakai and Amumu and stuff are probably gonna fall further behind. That's what I imagine will happen.
Okay.
So do you think we'll see a resurgence of a lot of single target damage junglers? We'll see AoE support, tanky junglers fall off in Season 4?
Maybe. All the other camps are still there, so they do have some stuff to farm, but yeah, they definitely don't get benefited from that new camp. So it's really hard to tell.
Okay.
Sorry, just I guess going back to the whole vision ward changes as well, mentioning Evelyn, do you think the fact that they're introducing trinkets, will that help, I guess, with the whole vision ward changes?
Yeah, because isn't there
because they have the...
Yeah, because they're free to purchase at level 1 until you upgrade them.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's gonna have the trinket. When I was doing those internal play tests, it seemed like the clairvoyance one was the best, but it was also OP when we were there. It was before it got nerfed, but
Oh, really?
yeah, it'll definitely add a new dynamic to the game. I think the sweeping one will be really good for junglers because you can just make sure there's no ward somewhere.
Yeah.
And with pink wards being the only other way to clear somewhere, you definitely have vision control with it.
Okay. I think that's most of the main season change.
Oh, the inhibs. Yeah, the
Inhibs.
inhibs and the tower. Like global goal is going to be reduced, but the people who actually destroy the towers will actually get more gold.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you think that will impact gameplay as a whole?
I don't
think
know.
it's gonna be. I think that one might be similar to. Or is it the one where the whoever kills the tower gets more
Yeah, that's
gold,
yeah.
right? Yeah, that's probably gonna make certain people are gonna purposely last at tower, obviously, so they get a much bigger gold advantage. I think they had that in Dota, where whoever lasts at the tower will get a lot of gold. So they're probably gonna focus having the gold on a certain person. So if someone gets a couple of tower kills, they're really far up. So you might see people doing that, and carries might get really far ahead of certain classes. So we'll see. But that's what I think is going to happen. Is if you have a hyper carry like Vayne, obviously you want to give it to them, so they'll get the last hit on it.
Okay.
Okay.
And I guess
I think-
sorry, you go. No.
You go.
Well, just on the topic of towers, then, because with inhib changes as well, the fact that there's not going to be a global minion buff when an inhib gets destroyed, it'll just apply to the lane that it gets destroyed. Do you think that games will last longer because of that?
Please, one of you take it.
You have to unmute every time
OddOne,
you
this,
talk.
this is yours.
Wait, can you repeat the question?
Sorry. I guess when you destroy an inhib, they're gonna remove the global buff to all minions, and it's gonna just apply to the minions in lane that the inhib gets destroyed in. So, do you think that will prevent snowballing, and will make the games last longer and all that?
I think that, they want they don't want you to lose outright. I think the statistic was if you lost an inhibitor at Worlds, you basically if you lost the inhibitor first, you probably lost.
It was
the game
100%.
right there.
That
Oh yeah,
statistic.
100%. Yeah. So they don't want that because once you lose an inhibitor, basically all your lanes are going to get pushed in. The enemy gets Baron, and they take the rest of the inhibitors you lose. So they probably really want to stop that.
Okay.
I also heard they changed Baron, so Siegen's better, but it's also more better for the enemy team to fight because Baron buff I think gives you some stat that Siege's tower is much better, Siege's building's much better, and does more damage. So they really want to end games if you get Baron like that, but it also allows the enemy team to attack because right now is when a team has a Baron buff and they're sieging, you can't really just engage on them because they're naturally stronger because all of them have Baron buff that gives them a significant amount of stats. So they probably just want Baron to just end games really fast, and then when you lose an inhibitor, it's not the end of the world, hopefully.
Okay.
That statistic from Worlds always seemed kind of troll to me because, yeah, losing an inhibitor sucks, but you're already pretty behind if you're losing an inhibitor in the first place. So I don't think they're that overpowered. But what they're actually talking about was it helps the team who killed the inhibitor as well because on live right now, if you kill an inhibitor, all your lanes will naturally push. And so if the other team is somehow stronger than you, but you manage to ninja and inhib, you won't really have anything to farm because your lanes will always be pushing towards them, so they can just freeze. And you can get really behind from that. So I think this is just better overall because it'll just it's a more linear progression of the game. This lane will be stronger, but the other lanes are still open for fighting in. So I think it's a good change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Now, question for me as well. In a recent interview, Alex Ish, the mid lane of Gamma Gaming, said that the jungler was the most important player on the team. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, sounds good.
OddOne, any comments?
Yeah, in competitive play, they're really strong. I think it's solo queue. It's just, I don't know, jungler just doesn't seem to do enough because you don't get any farm. But in competitive play, you can really snowball lanes really well. Jungler is really useful for that because typically you're not supposed to lose 1v1. If you die 1v1 in competitive play, you're just basically outclassed. It shouldn't happen because that basically screws your entire team over as your jungler has to cover your lane because you died 1v1. But in an ideal situation is no one should be losing a lane unless something the jungler did or something happened level 1 or something occurred.
Okay. And you mentioned before, Meteos, that you guys are going to be playing at IEM Cologne, which is this weekend, and now
Yep.
you'll be joined there by Counterlogic Gaming, and I believe it's Fnatic and Gambit from Europe.
Yeah, that's right. And then I think there are 2 Turkish teams or something going also. I don't really know too much about those teams.
Okay. Now, how do you feel going into that game? Do you feel confident going in that tournament?
Let's see. We've been scrimming a lot, so I'm confident we'll play pretty well. I don't know. We've been trying a lot of different stuff in scrims, and so these last few days we sort of have to, like, gonna focus on what we really want to play and come up with some stuff. But I think we'll do well.
Hopefully.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
North America. And now, another major event recently, Worlds, pretty big thing, kind of a big deal. Both of you were there, and of course TSM were in the group stages. OddOne, comments on TSM's performance.
Obviously, we would have wanted to do better. At least it was better than last year. Last year, we got 0-2'd, and it was pretty disappointing because we got there, lost, just got out. But this year, at least, we had a group stage go through. Unfortunately, we had to go through OMG and SKT, as well as Lemon Dogs and Gaming Gear, so we were unable to get by, so it's sort of disappointing that we weren't able to make it past the group stage this year. So at least the format's getting better. But I think they might change it next year, because certain teams or certain regions didn't get to see many games between the regions because some teams were eliminated. Like the Chinese teams faced each other, I think, quarterfinals, so you only got to see Royal against a couple of teams, and then but I think it's getting better though, because there's more regions now, and I'm assuming they're going to give a new slot to some of the new servers that they have out now, because this year they had basically the wild card was 4 servers. I mean, the 4 new servers, but next season, I think, since they're going to have a server for an entire year, like Brazil, Turkey, and such, there's going to be more slots given to them, and there's just going to be more competition, which is always fun.
Yeah.
And a prime example of teams not getting to play enough games, and the reason they would change the layout was, of course, Cloud9. You guys got put through to the quarterfinals due to your first place finish in the LCS. How do you feel getting through the quarterfinals to face the European giants Fnatic?
Let's see. I would have liked to play more games at Worlds. We didn't really get to play any Korean teams, which I was looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
But we did scrim against Royal a lot, so we got some experience there. But as far as our performance at Worlds went, obviously we lost. We didn't get 2-0'd, so at least we know we can beat them. But I actually wasn't too unhappy with how we lost, because most of the stuff we lost to was just stuff we hadn't seen before. Like, they ran double teleporting against us, which literally no one has done before. And I think it's still a respectable way to lose if you just haven't seen something before, because it's not like we just make the same mistakes over and over. It's just we made a mistake and couldn't come back from it. But it was a cool experience overall. I think we learned a lot from it that we can take back to NA and hopefully make our region better as a whole, and personally do better next split too.
Yep, definitely. And now, Lamill, you were at Worlds. Have you got anything to say on that topic?
A bit disappointed with TSM's Teemo pick. And I'm pretty sure they are too, because they later found out there were repercussions that they didn't know.
I think my favourite thing about the Teemo pick was that because Reginald is now the manager of TSM, that was his last professional game, and he played Teemo.
Yeah, I wonder what he...
What a way to go out.
Yeah, and Teemo lost, as expected, so no shocker there.
Poor Teemo.
Not a big fan of Yordles, of course, the odd one.
Teemo's pretty bad, though. He's just really annoying champ, and he just stands there and looks cute, and loses all the money for that game.
He did get first blood, though. Did he get first blood? I think he did.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, then
that sounds right.
I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah.
Yeah, then he
There
died.
you go.
And we lost bot lane really, really badly. It was pretty scary.
Yeah. Wasn't it Thresh AD carry? something?
Yeah, it was actually funny, even though it was sort of supposed to be different roles and such. Reggie got somewhat mad at Darius because he did the only thing that could possibly ruin the first blood strat was to like stand in front of the wave, so the wave is closer to his tower, and then suddenly Timo obviously had to die for that first blood.
Yeah.
That was
And that
pretty
was
funny.
like the worst thing you could ever do bot lane is stand in front of the wave, tank it so it moves closer to the enemy tower.
Poor
After
Darius.
that, bot lane was
Oh,
bot
God.
lane was over.
Damn.
Tragic game.
Didn't pick up any strategies there, Meteos. Didn't think, man, that Timo could really work on our team.
I don't know. It seems legit. We might try that at Cologne.
There we go. Heard it here first. I am Cologne. I on
Legit.
Timo.
Seems legit.
Yeah, it's the best.
Jungle Teemo, man.
Macnoon, rest in peace.
Well, sorry.
Go on.
Well, just going back to Reggie, and that was his last professional performance, but how's he adjusting to his new role as coach?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
He's working hard at it. He watches all our scrims. Today he didn't because he has a owners meeting, I think, in LA. He's taking it really serious. Like he doesn't play as much, but he has more time to do other stuff like site administration. But he's still watching every time we scrim. I'm assuming he's going to be watching over our replays or watching our games in real time. Like he's just going to spectate all of them and see what went wrong because he's the sixth man. He can point out mistakes and such. So
Yeah. Speaking of coaches, you guys are getting Dan as your coach, aren't you, Cloud9? Like.
Yeah, we are.
Is he going to be living with you?
He's not gonna be living with us. He's mostly just gonna be like our team mom, like making sure we don't die. Like we have stuff to eat and take us
Suck
places
mom,
if we need
Dan.
to get there.
Okay.
Well, I guess on that note, considering that Jack's now your manager, what's it like now? Considering Jack was TSM's old manager.
I don't know. Jack's like actually a really cool guy. He's probably like the best manager
He
in
is
all
so
LCS. Yeah, I don't know. We got really lucky with him, so
Cool.
it's been chill.
Just something I wanted to point out as well. If I can remember what it was. Right, that's it. So before you guys picked up Dan Din as your coach, you obviously had Alex Penn. And I'm not sure what his official title was within the team. Was it analyst?
He was our analyst, yeah.
So will you guys be getting someone to fill that role of what Alex Penn was doing?
I'm not entirely sure what we're doing behind the scenes as far as people like that go. I don't know if like I can actually talk about anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess no comment.
Next question.
Okay. Next question. Okay. On a little more lighthearted note, again with Worlds, they released the animation of all the pro players, from each of the teams that were attending Worlds, and Meteos, you were portrayed by Zach, or Zach was portrayed by you, either way. And now OddOne, unfortunately, you missed out to Darius' Jace, but Season 4, you're going to be in it, I can guarantee you. Who do you want to be portrayed by? Which champion?
Maokai.
You
I
think
don't know.
Malcolm?
No, it won't be Maokai. Like if I was
the odd trick.
Maokai, if I was in the end, like a little short like that, Maokai would probably get blown up within the first few seconds of it. 'Cause he's just not
Dude,
that strong right now.
Zach is super nerfed now too, but it's okay.
But you're more tanky than Maokai. I don't know. Hopefully I'd be like, I don't know, Elise or something, I guess. Spiders are cool, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think it'd be
Spiders
Elise.
not cool. Not down here.
Yeah, not down here, guys.
No, no,
Enough
no.
of those already.
Many things can kill you here.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what's for Okay. Someone say something, please.
Okay. Meteos. Everybody wants to know how you keep your hair in such fabulous condition, so we have to address that.
Very
My hair.
important topic.
Yes.
I actually don't really do anything to it. I just wash it with shampoo and then put conditioner on it. The only thing I sort of do is like throughout the day, I just like make sure it's all facing forward. So like, just go like
Oh my
that,
god, guys.
Oh my gosh, guys, it's exclusive. Exclusive.
Wow.
and that's like literally the only thing I do to it.
Please
Well,
give
there you
that.
go. If you want hair like Meteos, just follow those 3 simple steps.
Shampoo.
Yep. Make sure you shower. I feel like that's the first step for a lot of
Wait,
people.
do you use conditioner?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
Good
take
shampoo,
note, take
conditioner,
note, Brian. Take note.
and style with 3 easy steps.
There you go.
Yeah.
I use a
Okay.
2-in-1, so it's easier now.
Oh
So
man,
it's all good.
that's cutting out a whole step.
I know. It's like only 2 steps now.
Oh god. Yes.
I think no, going back to the roster changes we were talking about earlier, completely missed out on one many people may have missed, but Team Coast, who were in the LCS for both splits of Season 3 and are now competing in a lot of challenger tournaments like the NACL, they actually dropped their long-time AD carry Don't Mash Me, and I just wanted to know, get your opinion, who do you think will be replacing him, and is there a possibility of Coast Chaos?
I don't know. They've been. It seems like they've been hinting at it a lot on their social media, like their Facebook page. They keep saying like Coast Chaos, and Zion Spartan had some really troll tweet a while back where he was like, "Oh, Chaos has been staying at the Coast House. I wonder what that means." Winky face. So it seems like he might be their AD carry, but I don't know. They haven't really announced anything on it. I think they're still trying people out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
OddOne,
think-
since you've played with Chaos, what do you think of him possibly getting back into the scene again?
If he works hard, he could be back in the scene. He just needs to get back into the routine, and he should be able to do well, I think. Right now, I think the Coast are still trying out different ones. Like, I think Wiz Fujin is usually playing in their games as well, so we'll see. But it's really hard to get into the scene right now for an AD carry, because I think most of the North American teams have really good AD carries, so breaking in through that role is probably harder in this region than some of the other regions.
Yeah. And speaking of good AD carries, TSM, okay, I'm just gonna, hopefully it's correct. You guys picked up that really young AD carry. Please help me with names here. TSM's
Altec?
new sub, Altec. He plays AD carries.
As a sub, yeah.
Yeah, so what was the decision making behind that, and is he going to be an actual sub, or will it be like Wings of Death was in Season 3?
TSM's trying out the strategy of sort of similar to some of the Korean teams, is if you're not doing too well or not giving maximum effort or something, you'll get swapped out really fast, and hopefully we'll get new results with a different guy. So it motivates people to work harder for their position, so it's not like taken for granted. So Altec's pretty good, but Tur is also really good, so it could be possible that Tur does bad, but I don't think so. But it just keeps like fire under everybody that if they don't perform, there might be someone taking their spot really fast. So everyone's really motivated to just keep playing and maintain their starter spot, so they basically don't get benched.
Okay. And what are your guys' practice schedules looking like coming up to Season 4? Because we've got a lot of tournaments coming up in the coming weeks. So what are you guys doing to prepare for that? Starting with you, Meteos.
Well, we've been practicing a lot the past few weeks. Generally, we've stuck to the same schedule we've had for all last split, where we scrim from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. every day, and then during our off hours, usually just solo queue. And we just put in a lot of hours every day, making sure we watch all the other teams' games and just find out what champions are good, how to play them, what strategies are good, all that sort of good stuff.
And what do you do for team bonding? Team bonding, because I know you
team bonding.
Looks like.
I don't know. We get food together. We just hang out. We shower together. All the normal stuff.
Nice.
Do you shampoo and condition each other's hair? Is that how you keep it?
I think that's a secret.
I don't let anyone else touch my hair. I just do it myself.
Yeah,
Oh
understandable.
man, no one's allowed to touch those locks.
Nah.
What about you, OddOne? What's
Yeah.
TSM's schedule looking like these days?
Right now, we're not really doing that much, aside from just solo queue and scrim with C9 every once in a while to build communication. But once the Season 4 patch hits, scrim schedule will start being much more intense, because we just need to be able to play on that patch right now because we don't have any tournaments on this patch actually because we're not going to IEM Cologne. We're going to the tournament after that, which is not on this patch, which is a completely different game. So we're probably going to be playing a lot of solo queue every day after scrims, before scrims, just to get a feel of the Season 4 patch. And it's probably going to keep going like that until maybe to end the spring split, basically. Like maybe we'll have a week off between summer and spring, unless someone goes to the All-Star game, then we'll have a slightly bigger break. But for the most part, we're just going to be playing a lot of League for next year.
Sounds good.
Unfortunately, we don't team bond as well as C9. We shower separately, unfortunately.
Oh, I heard that Bjergsen brought you guys out for Froyo on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Team bonding.
And bonding.
yeah, but
So
I mean,
cute.
it's okay. Like we don't shower together. So
It's like
we're
average
settled with
bonding.
that.
I think that's
Haven't
quite a
taken
good
it to the next
secret.
level yet.
I think that's, if you guys want to have the highest win-loss record in the LCS, shower together. Take note.
I just want to ask, what do you guys think about Velocity releasing their full roster? And OddOne, what's your brother gonna do now?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think it's because Velocity's roster basically wasn't working. Technically they're LCS and they're defending their spot, but they were losing to a lot of different amateur teams. So there was just a lot of communication problems, and they kept swapping people out. And then I don't know if they'll make it back in. Like they completely dumped their roster. It's like a last-ditch effort. I don't know how they'll do. So they might throw a Hail Mary, and it might be good, or it just might be whatever, because things were looking really grim with them, because a lot of the teams were doing really well, and they just had a really long slump. So I guess it was for the best. As for my brother, he's been trying out for a few teams. He was trying out for Coast. I don't know who's on their list because I don't talk to Coast, but basically he's probably going to be looking for a team for a little bit because a lot of the rosters are slowly starting to be locked in. So hoping he can find a team then. But yeah, apparently they played tonight. I have to ask him about that for NID's roster, but I think that was a pretty big troll. I think they just found like anyone who wasn't on a team and just put them on that team because
Yeah, I saw a Twitter of that.
that
They
was
just,
a really,
yeah.
really bad game because they just got rolled basically by Curse.
Dang.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of these teams in the amateur circuit are feeling a lot more pressured with the qualifiers coming up for the next LCS split. And like obviously everyone wants to get in, so yeah, I guess like a lot of these like somewhat rash decisions are just due to all the pressure for trying to get in. I guess like NID released their entire roster today, or like they disbanded or something, and Velocity did it a few days ago. So
It's becoming a
yeah,
trend.
hopefully these teams can hold it together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with the qualifiers coming up for this Season 4 Spring Series, that's the one. Coast, Curse, and Velocity, who no longer have a roster, all have to fight for their spots in the LCS. What do you guys think? Which teams will get back in, or is there any challenger teams you think will make it into the LCS? Starting with Meteos.
Okay, so we've been scrimming a bunch of teams. If I had to guess now, I would probably say that Coast has a really good chance of making it back in. They've looked really solid all throughout their amateur season, and we've scrimmed them, and they've been pretty good. I think Curse has a good chance of making it back in too. And obviously, I don't know about Velocity because they don't actually have a team, but it seems hard that like to pick up a full team and just have them be better than all these other teams that have been around for longer. So it's kind of unlikely they'll get back in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think Quantic might. I don't know if they actually have a spot in the qualifier yet, but they've been really good in scrims.
Okay, and what about you, OddOne?
Similar lines.
Sorry,
I
teammates are
think
yelling.
Don't worry, Turo's been yelling this entire time. So I think Coast might be the strongest right now. They're doing extremely well. Basically, every role is like doing like just crushing. I think the record in NACL or something is like 16-1 or something, and then our only loss is to Curse, who's also really good. So that's obviously a good sign. And now they get second pick of their opponent, so they might not be They shouldn't be left with the hardest challenger team. Same with Curse. Curse is in a better spot. They get to choose out of the 3 who they want to face, and they're doing really well. So I think those two definitely going to get in. The last spot is, so I don't even know who's Velocity's roster. Like, could be anybody. Like, for all we know, I don't know. I think it might have been Denial, actually. I think I heard about that. Maybe them. But they're probably going to face either Complexity or Quantic. It depends on who's the last
I forgot
person.
about Complexity. Yeah, they were looking really good, and it sucks to get a lot of Morris had to, like, step down. Yeah, they definitely seem weaker without him, but they're still pretty good, so they might get in.
Yeah, it's probably going to be between those two, I think, for the last spot. It's going to be whoever picks Quantic or... Like, it depends really on who Coast picks. Like, if they pick right, then they get an easy game. If they pick wrong, then it might be the other guy that gets to face whoever the hell Velocity is going to be when the time comes.
Yeah, and obviously Complexity are representing the USA at World Cyber Games, and I don't think they've actually picked a permanent jungler. Do either of you know who's going to be their jungler for WCG?
I'm not sure who's going to be the jungler for WCG. They've been using Ninjakin a lot for like, all their amateur stuff, but talking to him, he said that his parents aren't letting him go to WCG, so I think they're going to have to use someone else, and I have no idea who they're using for that.
Okay. Lamill, Amy, any thoughts on the challenger teams?
I don't know anything about the challenger teams, honestly, so I'm not good to ask.
Amy, anything?
No, I only really follow Complexity. Don't really know much about challenger teams. Sorry.
Okay. I think, as you guys said, Quantic and Complexity both have a really good shot. I think their performances have been really good in the NACL, and I think it's the ACLS. Don't quote me on that. Not sure. But they've been showing up really good performances, as well as Curse Academy and LoL Pro. They've also been performing really well. So it'll be interesting to see how those teams do in the upcoming weeks with the promotions coming up and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's actually possible that Curse Academy could get in. I don't follow them too closely, but I do know that they play really unconventional stuff. Like, I see they've been playing brand mid a lot, and they've been running like no AD carry comps, like Jax and Tryndamere bot and stuff. So, in like a best of 3 or best of 5, however they're in the qualifiers, you can definitely win just by like if you just have one good game 1 where you like pull out something unexpected, it can really like put the other team on tilt. So I think teams like that are the ones to watch for.
Okay. And I just remembered as well, I think the only teams that are actually qualified to play in the promotion tournament against the LCS teams are Complexity, who we talked about, and To Be Determined, which is actually the team that Westrice ended up forming after his departure from Curse a while back. Any thoughts on To Be Determined?
I haven't seen them too much lately. I don't really know much about them. I guess they replaced Heaven Time with Broken Shard, and from what it sounded like, it was like helping their team coordination or something. So
That's good.
I don't know. They might be good.
Yeah.
I think they were doing really well, like earlier when there weren't many amateur teams, but then teams started getting houses, and I think they had housing issues or something, so they started falling behind. So I think they have a house now.
Yeah, they do. They recently.
So hopefully they can catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that really hurt them because they basically, like their entire lead, basically as being the best amateur team, basically evaporated because they didn't have a house, and teams with houses started practicing really hard, and now they're just playing catch up in hopes that they can win the relegation now.
Okay. And something we can hopefully all discuss, get some input on this, is Champions Winter, the Korean tournament which has recently just started. Do you guys, TheOddOne Meteos, have any thoughts on that? Do you follow the Korean scene much?
I haven't watched too much of it. I saw a few games. I saw Faker's team like just destroy their games. I saw that Olaf's a really popular pick over there. He's been getting banned and picked a lot. But I haven't seen a lot of the games. I haven't been staying up late enough these past few days because I'm trying to like not fall behind on sleep.
Yeah. OddOne, any thoughts on Champions Winter?
No, I haven't watched many of the games. Usually I wait until the later rounds because a lot of the quarter or group stage teams, like, there's just a huge gap. Like, some of them are like world class, and some of them are not world class, like not even close. So
Yeah.
some of the picks might not be cemented, but yeah, I've noticed a lot of Olaf, a lot of Shyvana. Other picks have been. I think Nidalee was contested a lot. I think it was only allowed in one game. So you just get a feel of what they think is strong just by looking at their picks and bans. But a lot of the games, unless they're like two teams that are close in skill level, usually are just one-sided stomps. So I usually wait until quarterfinals to really start following it because the matches will be much closer.
Okay. Do you guys want to start taking questions from the chat now to end the show?
Oh no, just got a few more.
Okay,
I guess
go
in a way, Shyvana has been getting really popular in solo queue. I noticed it a lot in Oceania as well. People playing Shyvana top lane. Do you have any comments on that?
Shyvana's just a really good solo queue champion, and I guess just an overall champion. Her base damage is like her base tankiness from her ultimate is just like insanely high. So she can just, and she farms really fast too. So she basically just farms everything, gets really tanky, and just becomes impossible to kill, and can somewhat really hard. And that's good in solo queue because like I play her a little bit in solo queue, and I've definitely had games where like I'm really fed and I can just like ult into their entire team and like almost 1v5. So she's definitely a really good solo queue champion.
Okay. And OddOne, any comments on the sudden resurgence of Shyvana?
Yeah, so I guess it was reworked like a couple of patches ago. People didn't really find out. I think Gambit actually ran it at Worlds. I forgot, maybe another team, but in scrims, once it got going, really got going. But I think Shyvana's just really strong right now because the free stats on her passive when she's in Dragon form, outside Dragon form, it's similar to Olaf actually. Olaf gets free stats on his ult when his ult's not being used. It starts at 10-10, 10 armor, 10 magic resist, and then ends at 30-30. So, and Shyvana's starts at 5-5 and ends at 40-40 in Dragon form, level 16. So, I think they're just really strong champions right now. And like, even if you build full tank, you actually do a lot of damage in both those champions. So that's probably why they might get toned down a bit because they do high damage. They're like old Aatrox before they did nerfs. Like Aatrox isn't as strong as it used to be, but if you just build tank, they still both do a lot of damage.
Okay. Cool. I guess unless there's any more questions, I do have one more before we turn it over to Twitch chat questions. Who do you consider are the top 3 junglers in the world? Meteos first.
Top 3 junglers. Bangi would definitely be up there. I think he's really good. He basically just like can play any playstyle really effectively. I think Diamond Prox deserves a spot up there just because like he's always innovated. Like almost all the new champions in jungle you see like Volibear, Nasus, Eve, just like everything. And let's see, a top 3rd one.
Yep.
Off the top of my head, I'd probably say Kakao because I've always been impressed when I watch him play. He like carries the team pretty hard.
Okay. And OddOne, your top 3.
Yeah, it's somewhat hard to do it. It's also dependent on their team. But yeah, Bangi really helped snowball his lanes really well. I didn't get to see much of Kakao lately because their team, Bullets, unfortunately lost in, I think, the regional finals to SKT, so no one actually knew how good they really were. So I think he's up there if he's still just as good as I remembered him. I'm not sure about number 3. It could be a Chinese one. It could be Diamond or someone else in Europe because they have a few strong ones. So it's really hard to tell like who's the best because if your team lanes do really poorly, then it's really hard to make your team look good and have your lanes win. So it's really a team effort. But I think Bangi does a lot for his team. It's really obvious. He helps his lanes out.
Actually, I'd probably have to put Loveland up there somewhere too. I played against him in the like preseason playtest at Riot, and he was just like ridiculously good,
Really?
like mechanically, and he just always knew where to be. Loveland's super
Loveland
good.
is the jungler for Chinese team OMG, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
right.
I guess unless Amy, Laura, Lamill,
I'm ready for
yeah,
the
one of
Twitch
you have any more
chat.
questions?
Let's unleash the
Ready.
Twitch chat.
Bring
Okay,
it.
unleash the Twitch chat.
Unleash the Kraken.
Alright, maybe someone should choose
So-
the questions that we ask.
All right. Okay, I think if one of us each pick one.
Okay.
I need to turn on the stream first.
Okay,
Go ahead,
I'll
go
pick
ahead.
one.
Okay.
I'll pick one. Okay. Man, it's just getting spammed so hard. I can't even see half the thing.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, Kieran.
My God.
They're
this
all
is just
troll
horrible.
questions.
Oh.
I'm seeing a lot of CLG. I'm seeing a lot of CLG roster changes, so I think people want to know about that. I mean, what have they done? They no longer have a support, but they're using Afromu at the moment, and they no longer have a jungler, but they're using Tricks at the moment. Odd one, you first. Thoughts on CLG's new roster?
So I guess yeah, they need to find some ball lane after Moo's return. He has synergy with Double Lift. They played before, so shouldn't be too bad. I haven't seen much of Trick because I haven't scrimmed CLG with their new lineup. So might need a bit of synergy though. Even though I sort of thought Big Fat LP was improving, like he was doing decently well. So I guess they just wanted to change the pace or something. I don't know. So the team's probably going to be quite different because they replaced two of their oldest members on the team. So basically, I think basically none of the originals are there anymore. Double Lift's the oldest member, I think. So it should be a completely different team. I don't know how they'll do. I haven't scrimmed them, so it may have been what they needed to get results. So only time will tell.
Okay, and Meteos, your thoughts on the new CLG team?
We've actually scrimmed them a decent amount these past weeks, and they might be better than the old CLG lineup, but I think the way they got their players was kind of questionable. It seemed like they kind of got rid of their old roster before sort of like figuring out their new roster. So it seems a little bit last minute, just like they threw it together. But yeah, I don't think they're too bad. I guess we'll see at IEM, Kieran.
Okay. Lamill,
Okay.
it's your turn to pick a question from that chat.
Huh?
Okay. Which champion would you two like to see return to being a viable jungler? Think hard.
We'll start with OddOne.
Okay.
What do you think?
Geez, I don't know. I find junglers that are really good in, I guess, lower bracket games like Master Yi to be really fun. Like, I just sort of want someone that's just really snowbally like that, to be in the jungle that doesn't get blown up in every single team fight to be in the jungle, because it's sort of lame just being useful early to snowball your lanes, and then you just not really do much damage mid game because the carries have all the farm and then they do everything. So I don't know. I guess I'd like to see Master Yi. I heard the new champ's a samurai. I don't know if he's a jungler or not. That'd be pretty cool if he's a jungler. So hopefully we can get someone like Master Yi to be the new OP.
Yeah, well, he's your favorite
Okay.
champion, so naturally you'd want him to be viable again, right?
I think he's pretty fun to play. I mean, you have a sword and you just hit people with it, and eventually they die.
Yeah.
And
So not bad at all.
and Meteos, which jungler do you really want to see come back for season 4?
I'd have to give my vote for Jungle Brand. I think he's probably the best jungler. I think he'll really get his time to shine in season 4.
Seems legit.
All right, and Amy, it's your turn to pick a question.
Oh gosh, it's so hard to choose a question. I can't decide if I should choose a legitimate, serious one or a funny one. What do you guys feel like? A funny question or something
for the funny
related to
one.
season? A funny
Yeah,
one.
go for something a bit troll. We've done 2 serious questions.
Okay, so if all let's just narrow it down to NA. If all the NA junglers in real life were put into a room, who would win in a fight?
Let me think of who all of them are.
Are we talking like relegated LCS teams or just the 5 that have got their LCS spots?
Let's just narrow it down to the ones who have got the LCS spots.
Okay.
Okay. So that's TSM, Cloud9, Vulcan, CLG, and people are going to yell at me for forgetting this. That other NA team. Okay, someone please save me in chat. Someone please save me in chat, please.
No.
Dig!
Yeah,
Dig!
That's
Dig!
it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So we've got Saint, Crumb. No, not Saint. I mean
Saint's
Crumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saint's not in. I mean Crumbs.
Smithy.
Yep, Crumbs, Smithy, Trick, I guess, from CLG, and then OddOne and Meteos.
Yeah.
Who's going to win in a fight?
I don't even know. I don't think anyone on that list is like remotely athletic.
Should we go by
Maybe
body mass?
Crumbs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
maybe Crumbs.
Crumbs
Crumbs.
will stand a fair chance.
Yeah. Though I bet it's hard to say because people would just start allying together. The weak people like me just find someone to
Like the Hunger
tag team
Games.
someone and then it would be them. Yeah. So basically, it's just gonna be like that. And then whoever can backstab each other the best will probably win in the end. So I don't know. It could be anyone's game.
Yeah, that's the thing. The general
Yeah.
does not fight his own battles. He gets people to fight his battles for him.
True that.
Well, there we go. I think that's it. We're about done here today. So just to wrap things up, we'll go around the room and get everyone to give some shout-outs, starting with our 2 lovely professional players, Cloud9's Meteos. What are your shout-outs?
I guess shout outs to all my sponsors and to you guys for putting on this talk show, and all my fans and people who supported me so far.
Thanks.
All right, OddOne, shout-outs.
Thanks for having me on the show. Thanks to all my fans who support me. Thanks to all the sponsors for all the stuff they give us. I believe it is Astro, Asus, Corsair, Gunner, Origin PC, and Kingston HyperX. Thanks to all of them. But yeah, so just thanks to the fans as well for supporting TSM this long. Really appreciate it.
All right, Lamill, shout-outs.
Okay, I want to thank the guests, of course, for being on the show, and the viewers for supporting us and watching us. And I'd like to say a thank you to our overlay designer, Azu Designs, for making all of our overlays and our logo for EGN. So, yeah, those are my thanks.
Amy, shout-outs.
Oh gosh, well obviously thank you guys so much, OddOne and Meteos, for being here. It's an honor to thank you for being on our first show. And just thanks to Lamill and Kieran for having me on board EGN. Can't wait for more shows and more adventures.
Yay!
All right, so I'll wrap things up here. Shout out to Meteos and OddOne. Thank you so much for joining us on our first episode of Rift Talk Live.
Thanks, guys.
Shout out to my wonderful co-hosts, Lamill and Amy. You guys did a wonderful job. Again, shout out to Lamill for hiring me, for whatever reason she did that.
Yeah, thanks for hiring the noobs, aka us.
You guys are carrying me, carrying me.
Yeah, and I mean, shout out to my social media. Go follow me. Do that.
Yeah, follow
Wow.
Lots of
us.
hilarious
All of our
things.
links
Follow us.
are below, so...
Yeah,
Okay, guys.
you can find the Twitter links in below and stuff like that. Go do it.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yay.